Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ignite. Hey, I see some of you. I met probably some of you in the past. So my name is Kenneth Pan. I'm the Core VP responsible for Windows Cloud. So today in this session, we'll show you how you can unlock the full power of Windows 365. And after I cover the foundation, Scott Menchers will go on stage and walk you through all the latest capabilities. And plus, we'll have 3 customers go on stage showcasing how their journey with Windows 365 has been. So before we get started, I want to go back in history a little bit, is the journey of Windows Cloud. The Windows Cloud journey started in September 2019. This is when Azure Virtual Desktop was released to the market. AVD is Microsoft's first VDI offer in the cloud, done as a platform as a service or PaaS offer. In late December 2019, Scott and I got tasked to build a new software as a service or SaaS offer for VDI to accelerate the migration from on-prem VDI to the cloud. Shortly after the New Year holiday break, we got together, started writing a strategy paper. And the whole paper can be summarized into one single word, simplicity. We actually had the strategy paper reviewed by Bill Gates on February 24th of 2020. I had to go look it up and make sure that they got it right. And off we went. What we didn't know at the time is that 2 weeks later, Microsoft went into full COVID lockdown. So Scott and I, from our home offices, started building a team and building a product together. We hired a lot of folks from all parts of Microsoft, brought in experts, and we also hired a lot of college grads. 18 months after we finished writing a strat paper, we released the first edition of Windows 365 to the market. The time we released the market, most of our team members have never met each other in person. They've only met on Teams calls. So you guys probably all remember during those few years. What we started out to do is that our goal is to start from Windows 365, the first edition, and over time, we're going to move all the VDI capabilities into the cloud. So our first release is targeting at the persistent VM personal desktops, focusing on the information workers. In 2023, we released the Windows 365 frontline SKU, focusing on shift workers. Earlier this year, we released the frontline share mode, focusing on the task workers. With the frontline share mode, any VDI scenario can be done with full VM multi-session, now can be done with Windows 365. In spring of 2025, this year, we also released Windows 365 Link, our first Windows-based thin client, VDI thin client. This is the first time that we brought the security, unmatched security and simplicity to the VDI thin client world. Today, I'm very excited to announce 3 additional key capabilities for Windows 365. The first one is Windows 365 Cloud App and a User Experience Sync. With Cloud App and User Experience Sync, we can now take on any core VDI capabilities. Persistent VM, pool VM, multi-session, app streaming, or profile management. Whatever you do with on-prem VDI, now there's a simpler and better way to do this in the cloud with Windows 365. The second capability we're announcing today is Windows 365 Reserve. We're leveraging all the VDI investment we have made in the Windows 365 in the last few years. We're offering a temporary or emergency cloud PCs to all physical PC users whenever they need it. The last one is an announcement I'm very excited to talk about today is Windows 365 for agents. As you all heard this morning's keynote by Judson, AI is moving from being a digital assistant to being a digital coworker with the AI agents going forward. Windows 365 provides a cloud PC for AI agents going forward that in the same secure and managed manner that Windows 365 has. Still focusing on the same principle that we have simplicity management, security, observability. 2025 Gartner Magic Quadrant, this is the 3rd year we've been recognized as a leader in the desktop as service space with our unmatched leadership in execution and visionary. So the Gartner recognition underscores how far we have come in redefining digital workspace. As AI transforms how we work, Windows is the foundation for the AI transformation. With Windows being the foundation, frontier firms can experiment faster, scale with confidence, and open up all kinds of new business models. Windows 11 is the foundation for AI-powered productivity and deep Microsoft 365 Copilot integration. Today, we're also announcing the Frontier Firm preview for AI-enabled cloud PCs. What we're doing is, for any AI capabilities on Windows 11 PC that requires NPU, we can take many of these to the cloud with our new ability being enabled in the cloud. Windows 365 for agents is also going to be the one that providing the computer using agent ability to have a secure access to Windows, Linux, or browser environments. With Windows 365 for agents, it opens all kinds of possibilities for you. Use that one example. All of us have one thing in common we need to do next week. That's filing expense report after we get back from Ignite. Imagine that you can email your expense report, if there is such thing, all your copy of your receipts, have it go log on to your company's travel portal, expense reporting portal, and file expense report for you. Think about the possibility going forward. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the one and only Scott Manchester, get on stage, and showcase all our new features.
Thanks, Ken.
Here you go.
Awesome. It's been an incredible partnership with Ken and the rest of the team and this entire community. This event is one of the most exciting moments that we have as Microsoft employees to get out here and share with you all the great innovation we've been driving. I think this is my 10th Ignite, and I say this every year, but I think I mean it more than ever before. This is one of the most exciting opportunities for us to share amazing amount of innovation the team's been driving. As Ken pointed out, we're going to bring up some folks from the team to talk a little bit in more detail about some of the things that Ken just announced. And then we're going to finish up with some of our customers like yourself that have been on their journey with Windows Cloud now for some time, and share a little bit of their background and story. We have an exciting suite of things to discuss today. We're going to focus across 3 different pillars. The first one is AI across all segments. So kind of an ominous kind of description, but we're going to talk about these 𝗬𝗲 agents and how AI can empower these agents to operate on your behalf to do work in a secure and protected environment. We're going to talk about how we can continue to empower Copilot and Copilot Plus experiences in the cloud through some new innovations we're driving with cloud PCs. And then we're going to talk about how we can enhance the management experience through the IT Copilot built into Intune. And then we're going to talk about some exciting new deployment models for both AVD and Windows 365. And then we're going to finish up with a little bit of background on our secure and resilient platform that powers both AVD and Windows 365 and an exciting new offering built on top of this platform. So let me get started. So first, let's talk about AI across segments. There's very little that we do today that can't be optimized through some type of agentic support. And it starts with this exciting new development that Ken just mentioned, this concept of computer using agents. And this morning, as you heard from Judson, being able to govern these agents is the next wave of security to ensure you can understand what agents you have, how they're operating, and to set governance and policies around those agents. But it's equally important that the workload those agents operate in also can have some level of governance, and ensure that these agents can spawn workloads, compute workloads when they need them, whether that is Windows or Linux, whether operating on Win32 apps or operating on websites. The best way I found to describe this whole new concept of 𝗬𝗲 is to break it down into the 4 key verbs, the 4 key actions that you do in the end-to-end experience in deploying and building the environment for 𝗬𝗲 agents. The first one is an admin task, and this is where the governance comes in. This is you creating a provisioning profile, setting the policies, the applications, and settings for the environment that the agents operate in. Just like you would for a human with Windows 365 Enterprise. You'd set up an image, you'd set the policies, security baselines, install the applications that user needed. Well, you want to do the same thing for the agent. The next action is for the agent to get the resource it needs. So create and then get. The agent gets a resource, pulls it out of a pool, which starts a meter. So it's in a consumptive-based pricing model. It gets a resource and then does the work. So do is the next verb. And here's where things get really interesting. So you create these Copilot Plus, or I'm sorry, these 𝗬𝗲 agents inside of Microsoft Copilot Studio, define the actions that they do, and when they execute those actions, you can actually see what's going on. You can see as the agent is navigating around a website or navigating around an application, clicking on buttons, entering text, and doing all the actions you described through natural language. Now, let's say that that agent hit some code path where a dialog popped up that was unexpected, hadn't been trained on it yet. You can actually take control, click on the dialog, and let the agent continue its work. So you can see what's going on. So admins create, agents get resources and do work, and end users can see what's going on and take control. That's sort of the basics of it. I mentioned two of the Microsoft services today that are building on top of this Windows 365 for agents. The first one is Microsoft Copilot Studio, and the other is Microsoft Copilot Researcher. And you can see here a number of partners, some of them may be in the audience here, that are already taking a bet on this new elastic, secure environment to run 𝗬𝗲 work. So I'm done explaining. Allow me now to invite up Elaine to walk you through a quick demo so you can learn more about this in real action. Elaine?
Thanks, Todd. Hi, everyone. I'm Elaine Yu, the product manager behind Windows 365 for Agents. Today, I'm here to showcase one of the global leading AI agents, Manus AI, to perform intelligent PowerPoint editing on a cloud PC. So how does it work? Our APIs allows agents to create cloud PCs, get resources, do the work prompted, where the users can also see and take control if needed. Imagine you run a sportswear business and need help updating a PowerPoint deck. Let's ask Manus to change the slide text color, insert an image, and save the file under a new name. To perform these tasks, Manus calls our platform to create a cloud PC in a familiar Windows environment. And during the editing process, the user can see and take control in real time. Finally, Manus inserts the image and saves the file to the user's OneDrive folder for secure access. With our platform, these menial tasks can be offloaded to trusted agent processes, so you can focus on the work that matters. Thank you.
Well, Elaine, that was a very compelling scenario, but I think one of the things that might be relevant for many of the folks in this audience as well is not just automating apps, productivity apps like PowerPoint, but also their existing line of business apps that probably don't have any interfaces for MCP and other automation. Now this can unblock lots of opportunities for them to automate those kind of apps as well, correct?
100%. LLB apps is one of our top priority to come in very soon, near future. And with today, our integration with Copilot Studio, Copilot Researcher, you can already configure custom enterprise apps to do invoice processing, HR approvals, data extraction, and all of that. And that's why everyone should stay tuned for our session at 2:30 in BRK344, also in this building.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank you
so much. Well, I hope that helps you kind of understand and explain the true value of these. Throughout this presentation, I'm going to put a lot of these QR codes up. I recommend you get your cameras out and take pictures of these and follow up now. You can sign up now through the Frontier program for Windows 365 for agents, and you can also sign up and get 50 free hours of cloud PC usage with the Microsoft Copilot Studio. So 2 exciting opportunities for you to start kicking the tires and see how these tools can increase productivity of your organization. Another thing I'm really excited to share with you today is we're continuing to evolve the opportunities you have to have M365 Copilot and Copilot Plus experience on your cloud PCs. I'm announcing here today for the first time we're supporting AI-enabled cloud PCs. These new AI-enabled cloud PCs introduce what we call a cloud NPU, a synthetic NPU that can match the performance and capabilities of the existing generation NPUs from ARM, Intel, and AMD. This is the 4th class of NPU that can deliver on that 40 trillions of operations per second, or 40 TOPS capability that all Copilot PCs support today. But also, because it's elastic and synthetic and delivered from the cloud, it can expand to meet burst needs. So it can sustain 40 TOPS, but it can also burst to 40,000 TOPS. So it's unlocking a whole new wave of innovation, bringing Copilot Plus experiences to the cloud. Of course, we are launching with experiences like federated search, enhanced search, and click-to-do, and many more to come. It's an exciting new generation of experience delivered from the cloud that continue to enhance the productivity of your employees. All right, we're moving quick because we've got a lot to cover here today. Announcement after announcement after announcement. Grab a picture of this. You can sign up for this program through the Frontier program as well. All right, and to complete the trifecta, did I hold it up long enough? Okay. I told you to keep those cameras out. All right, wait till I see the last camera go down. Don't be that guy. All right. To complete the trifecta of the exciting new segments that we're enabling through AI is the IT admin experience. So as you well know, we have this amazing new Copilot experience inside of Intune that supports security, Intune management, and now Windows 365. This is the beginning of another very exciting journey to streamline the management of your Windows 365 estate inside of Intune using a Copilot, using natural language input that'll reduce that down to specific tasks to take actions like getting reports on utilization, performance and experience reports, and to make bulk level changes, all powered through this new Copilot AI experience. This is generally available today, so if you haven't had a chance to check this out, do take a look at this. So just to summarize this first pillar, agents across all different segments. We talked about agents, computer using agents that can now operate through a governance model for the agents themselves, through Agent 365, and a governance model for the compute resources that they're consuming to do work on behalf of humans. We can further empower the productivity of users in the cloud now through M365 Copilot and now Copilot Plus experiences. And IT admins can now take advantage of this IT Copilot to streamline operation and management of Windows 365 at scale. So let's get into the second pillar, more flexible deployment models. This is the voice of you, our customers, giving us feedback that they want to see more opportunities to leverage our SaaS solution, our cloud PC solution, Windows 365, to deploy not just desktops, but also apps. And they want to see more opportunities to reach customers where they are with AVD management. So allow me to walk you through some of this. First and foremost, I'm so excited to announce that we've brought cloud apps to Windows 365. This is built on top of our Windows 365 frontline model. If you're not familiar with frontline, I'll just give you just a very quick overview. It is a consumptive-based pricing model for Windows 365. This is Microsoft reimagining the multi-user experience that's traditional with VDI today, that basically is an economic model, right? Multi-session is not a feature. It is a method to reducing costs by effectively spinning up the resources you need at any moment in time. Well, it turns out there's other ways of doing this, other ways that retain that personal computing experience, but delivers very similar economics, and now provides this amazing platform for hosting desktops and apps with a lightweight user experience sync to ensure when that user moves in and out of different resources within a pool, all their app data and Windows settings follow that user. Very exciting to announce this, and I'd like to now bring up Serena to give you a quick demo of both how you deploy this and how you consume cloud apps.
Hey, I'm Serena. I'm the Cloud Apps PM. So using Cloud Apps, users can now connect to Windows applications securely from any device. For example, here I'm on my MacBook. Setup is super easy in Intune. Here I'm creating a provisioning policy with a new experience type, app only. Cloud apps run on frontline shared devices, but users don't need to be frontline users. They can be anyone in your organization. I'm going to keep it simple and use a gallery image, and then I'll add my required applications with an autopilot device preparation policy. I'm also going to enable user experience sync, and that will enable app settings and data to roam with my users. Now, the assignment will define who can access published cloud apps from my policy. If a user accesses more than one cloud app, all of these apps will run on the same cloud PC. The number of cloud PCs also determines the maximum concurrency for this policy. Once the devices are done provisioning, I can publish cloud apps for my users to access in Windows app. Now I'm on my Windows laptop, where you can see we've made improvements so that cloud apps look even more like local apps. This includes better integration with Windows Snap, better DPI handling, and theme integration with your local OS. I bet you can't tell which one's the local app and which one's the cloud app.
Yes, you know, I think that's the point, is for the average user, when they launch one of these applications, which we're now integrating into the taskbar and the start menu, they won't even know whether it's running local or not. You said something really important, I think, around this as well, is giving the admin the ability to create a collection of apps within a provisioning profile, and then all those apps run in that same context on a single cloud PC, correct?
Exactly. One connection, as many apps as you want.
Awesome. But you can create as many provisioning profiles as you want as well, correct?
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you. Awesome demo.
Thank you so much.
Next, I'm really excited to re-announce, we announced this earlier this year, the ability for you to take advantage of the opportunity to move from existing VDI solutions, other public cloud services, even from AVD to Windows 365, taking advantage of the new migration API that we've published. This is an API that we've published and worked with our partners to make unique experiences to allow you to easily determine when a user might be better served on Windows 365 from other solutions, whether that's bare metal, whether that's AVD, another VDI provider, another public cloud provider. I'm excited to announce some of our partners. Many are in the room here today. ControlUp, Efficient, 𝗬𝗲𝗄, 𝗦𝗽𝗲, and Remo3, all supporting these scenarios. And I think IGEL also, I see sitting in the front room as well, another partner supporting this migration API. This is a really exciting new opportunity for those organizations that maybe stood up a VDI environment in a rush during COVID. And now new technologies have emerged since that time frame, and we want to make it simpler for you to determine what's the best solution for you and make it easy for you to migrate to your solution of choice. Another really, really exciting announcement I make here right here today is that we're extending the reach of AVD to additional hybrid scenarios. This year, or last year at Ignite, we announced AVD would support the new extended Azure Local support. So we went from Azure Stack HCI to Azure Local. What I'm announcing here today is you'll now be able to manage AVD resources on-prem using any hypervisor. And again, we're working with strategic partners to help make this happen. ControlUp, Login VSI, Nutanix, and I see a few Nutanix people in the room here, and 𝗦𝗽𝗲, and there's likely some 𝗦𝗽𝗲 folks here as well. So super excited now for AVD to be a single management plane that you can use for your cloud-based workloads and your on-prem workloads and Azure Local workloads, and to make it super simple for you to migrate those workloads to the cloud when you're ready. All right. So we've talked about this additional flexibility. Being able to use the first cloud app solution delivered in a full SaaS model out of an endpoint management solution with the user experiencing. Giving opportunities for you to ensure that the user data moves with the user as they move in and out of these pools. And now to support AVD in even additional environments and using a single management plane to control all of your virtualization workloads. So this gets us to the third pillar, resilient and secure platform. It's a fundamental reason people turn to virtualization is to provide another layer of security. We've seen this play out for 3 decades now, where isolating the workload from the virtualized environment and the physical device provides that extra layer of security. And at Microsoft, now that we run some of the world's most critical businesses on our Azure cloud, whether that's financial services, healthcare, insurance, you name it, all of these verticals are moving to the cloud and relying on us to ensure they have the best and most secure environment. So we start with our Windows Cloud Platform with our secure foundation. Things like zero trust and zero touch deployment. You've probably heard this a million times. Zero trust. That means that we protect at every layer, we always assume breach, and we provide the least privileged access, right? That holds true to everything you've seen today and everything in our platform. And there's resiliency built into our platform. Just the choices we make of the data centers that we support, the architecture of our services, the redundancy of our services, and through a lot of innovation that's rolled out over the last year, regional resilience, and other improvements to our protocol, like multipath, UDP support, short path, smiles, all these technology continue to enhance the reliability and security of your connections. And that platform we've built now has a brand new value prop. Whether you're starting today as a customer all the way in the cloud, or whether you're on full bare metal, Windows 365 reserves that one thing you're going to take back to your organization and tell them about this exciting new opportunity. We're excited to announce this is going to be available for a very low cost licensing fee. It's going to have some discounts announced as well. This new service is available for about the price of a cup of coffee every month to ensure that any user or your entire organization can recover their productive environment in the cloud instantly in the case of a disaster. That disaster could be a lost or stolen laptop. I'm sure somebody in this audience might have left a laptop at the security desk, right? How would you operate here without that environment? What if you can grab your phone, your iPad, jump on a browser and get access to a secure environment available on demand, and you can use it for up to 10 days for a very low price. And if you needed it for another 10 days, you can add another license, and you can even add a third license for up to 30 days of usage. Now, I suspect many of you that try this out, you're going to love this so much that you're going to say, well, why can't I just keep that cloud PC? I'll just make that my permanent machine. You can apply a cloud PC license, and now that is a full lifetime cloud PC. Really, really exciting opportunity. If you have a BCDR strategy today that involves an extra set of laptops in a warehouse, or you're paying some expensive fee in case of emergency to have backup resources for a user, you need to look at this new solution. To give you a quick demo and show you the value of this, allow me to invite Logan on stage to walk you through the deployment and then consumption of this.
Thank you, Scott. Hi, everybody. My name's Logan Silliman, and I'm on the Windows 365 product team. I'm going to show you today Windows 365 Reserve, which is a new offering for organizations to enhance their business continuity plans by offering users up to 10 days per year of Cloud PC access. So just like Cloud Apps, we'll start in Intune by creating a simple provisioning policy. I'll enter my name, description. I'll set my license type as Reserve, and then I'll go ahead and choose my geography and enable single sign-on. I'll leave the defaults for the rest of my settings until I get over to assignments, where I assign my enter groups to distribute licenses to users. Now, when I create my policy, my Reserve Cloud PCs aren't provisioned right away, but they're set up for later on, so I can be ready to go when I need it. Flash forward and imagine one of my employees' devices is down, and I need to get them back and connected again. I'll go back into Intune, into that policy that I just created, and I'll find my Cloud PC users. This is everyone that got the licenses. And I'm going to go and provision that Cloud PC for my user. This can also be done in bulk if I needed. Once provisioning succeeds, I'll go ahead and see that status has changed, and under devices, I can see the Cloud PC is ready to go. And at this point, my user can log in securely to the Windows app from any machine, managed or unmanaged, and get access to that Cloud PC. They'll see the description, because it might be their first time using, and they'll see the expiration date, and then they'll click to connect. And at this point, they're productive again with their apps, security policies, and other settings from Intune. And then once their machine is ready for them again, they can go back into the Windows app and return that Cloud PC, saving their remaining days for later in the year. And IT can also manage this from Intune. As you've seen, Windows 365 Reserve is super fast, super simple, and secure. So it'll help you get connected again when you really need it.
That's amazing, Logan. And I think one of the things your team is working on also is streamlining this experience so you can give policies to allow users to also self-provision, correct?
Yeah, it's one thing that we're really excited about to help reduce the burden on IT even further, is a setting that'll allow certain user groups to go and provision directly from the Windows app so they can go and get connected super, super fast.
Awesome. Exciting stuff. Definitely go back and look at this when you get back home from this trip. I'm going to skip the quick summary of this. I think we covered this really well. We've talked about some of the resiliency we got built into our platform, this exciting new offering. I want to now move to not just hearing from us, the product makers, but also hearing from some of our customers. I'm going to play this quick video while we bring on stage representatives from One New Zealand, Allianz, and Johnson & Johnson. Join me on stage and do a little Q&A. So listen to this session real quick while we get everybody up on stage.
We're the largest mutual life insurer in the country. For 180 years, our vision is to make sure that we are providing financial protection to the families that we support.
Our goal is to democratize technology in a way that everyone becomes an innovator on behalf of our customers.
It must be secure, it should give us visibility, and it should align with how our business operates.
Windows 365 plays a significant role in our long-term modernization strategy.
We have a global workforce, and Windows 365 has created this anytime, anywhere access capability.
One of the big important criteria was how quickly can we onboard a colleague.
The ability to give a colleague an endpoint that's perfect their first day, it expresses a sentiment that we care It helps us attract top talent. It's critical for us to comply with our regulatory controls to ensure that only specific people have access to customer data.
Windows 365 met the criteria for providing secure, seamless access irrespective of the location for our users. So it made our shift from being reactive to resilient in alignment with New York Life's philosophy of we don't predict, we prepare.
Our ability to deliver an endpoint within hours or days rather than months really gives us a competitive advantage.
Scaling with cost efficacy is an important consideration, and Windows 365 has been quite instrumental.
New York Life is preparing our employees for what's next with Microsoft Copilot.
Copilot allowed us to actually empower our employees to be much more agile.
We consider that table stakes to move into an AI era. We've now got an army of innovators that are out there solving day-to-day business problems for our customers and agents.
Awesome. That's a great story. And now we've got some folks here in person to help share their stories a bit. Please welcome Gaurav Kapoor from Johnson & Johnson, Fabrizio from Allianz, and Matt here to share their stories. And Matt, I'm going to start with you. When you were evaluating Windows 365, what were the most critical factors you had to consider, such as security, resiliency, and scalability of the service?
Thanks, Scott. That's quite a curly question, but it's quite easy for us to answer. For us, it was definitely stability. We have a retail operation, and we have contact centers, and stability was our number one.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And were there any unexpected benefits maybe you ran into along the way?
Well, we ran into some benefits for us was around cost, and we definitely saw that the simplification in the networking space was a benefit to us. We've moved from quite a complex VDI product and moved into a simpler Windows 365 product.
Awesome. Thanks. Fabrizio, same question. You and I have been working for a long time to help identify the opportunities for you guys to roll Windows 365 out in your organization. As we were going through that exercise, what were the things that really stood out for you?
So, Scott, thank you for the question. I think what is very important for us is the fact that this is a very simplified and flexible architecture, which is funded, of course, on the reliability of Azure services. So this has allowed us to migrate our user in a, I would say, steady process, which has allowed us also to benefit in terms of operation from the reliability of the underneath platform. So this has been very, very important for us, of course, and we continue along the same way. And in terms of unexpected benefit, I would like also to connect to what our colleague was saying before, the fact that from a cost perspective especially, this has been extremely relevant for us, because it's allowed us to provide this service to a very competitive pricing internally, which is also, the result of, the whole process that we put together. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Fabrizio. We'll pass this down to Gaurav. Now, Gaurav, I didn't prep you this, but you guys likely know, and we see Lance in the audience here and other folks from J&J. J&J was customer zero on AVD. You were our very first customer on AVD running in production, and ultimately made the decision to go to Windows 365. So we've been working together for 6, 7, 8 years now around this, and I know there was a high bar that you had. Same question for you. What were those critical factors you had to consider?
Yeah, for us, it was really all of them, right? We had a strategy where we wanted to move to unified endpoint management, go cloud native with Windows 11, have something that scaled, and user experience was obviously top of mind. So with Intune, we're able to manage our endpoints and our virtual desktops all in one solution. We're able to use skill sets now across platforms, so not just for our virtual desktops, but because of the unified endpoint management strategy. And obviously, we can now scale our modernization with modern endpoint management in the cloud and secure our endpoints for the future. In terms of unexpected benefits, I think user experience was key. We had previous challenges with virtual meetings in our solution, so the simplicity of Microsoft owning the entire stack of Windows 365 and 365 all made it a seamless experience for our users.
Yeah, now you've done a pretty significant rollout. I think you're 40,000 plus users right now, and I think you cycle through a lot of contractors month to month. What was that experience like and allowed you to scale so quickly?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty impressive. You know, anything we change in our environment is pretty substantial. We do expect quite a bit of pushback a lot. We were able to do our migration of 40,000 users in about 7 to 8 months. You know, we did automate and orchestrate a lot, working with your team on providing the right APIs so we could do that. Really what ended up happening was the users really adopted the service because of the simplicity of it. We really didn't have a lot of noise from the change that we expected, and it ended up being a really beneficial service to all our users.
Now, before I pass over back to Fabrizio, I think there's one other statistic that one of your colleagues shared last year that I want to make sure we get to, because I think it's a really critical thing, especially under the circumstances of how much new people you bring into this environment every month. You shared a statistic, and I think it still holds true, on the amount of support tickets you reduced, moving from a different public cloud solution to Windows 365. Would you mind sharing that?
Yeah, sure. So we onboard and offboard about 3,000 users a month. So about 30 to 40,000 new users are using the service on a yearly basis. And our #1 ticket driver for virtual desktops was first-time setup. And we were able to reduce that by about 86% moving to Windows 365.
That's an amazing statistic, and I'm glad to see that that still holds true after additional 40,000 users rolled on the service since last year on the stage.
Yep.
Fabrizio, at Allianz, we had a very similar experience. You had a need to roll this new solution out very rapidly, and we'd set some goals where we wanted to be by this year. I believe you're now at around 64,000 users on Windows 365. What's that experience been like and allowed you to ramp up so quickly?
So exactly, we were able, you know, to migrate all these users in a very strict timeline. I would say between 8 and 10 months in total, and the rate was impressive. I mean, we migrated up to 5,000 users per month at our peak. In order to do that, of course, what was very important, not only to onboard the users, but also to migrate the related applications. So it was an effort also to test, deploy, and of course, also package the application up front. So I think in all this journey, it was very relevant also the support we got from Microsoft and from your team, Scott, in order to make sure that everything could work smoothly, leveraging your technical support, both in the migration and in the operation, and especially also in the packaging of the application through Intune. I think this has been quite a relevant factor for us to leverage. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Fabrizio. Matt, back to you. I'm going to hit you with a couple questions because we're a little shorter on time here. I know connectivity and security are paramount for you, both in your retail operations and other parts of your business. Can you tell me more about what are the use cases for these and where you found the most value with Windows 365?
So one of our main use cases as 𝗦𝗽𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗃 as a telco in New Zealand is our retail operation. We have a point of sale. So we actually make the sale with a customer. And so we have to have it in a public space, and that is one of our main use cases that Windows 365 definitely held true. And the ease of use and the security as well. So dealing with customer private details, credit cards and the like, and we definitely saw that.
So I know user experience is super critical to you, and you have some statistics as well about moving from a previous solution to Windows 365. Would you mind to share a little bit about the user experience and the metrics that you've been able to track in terms of your reduction of support tickets?
Yes, thanks, Scott. So we saw about a 90% drop in our first call problems for our incidents for the onboarding of new staff, and that was a significant benefit to us. So it meant we were able to reduce our help desk size, and then we subsequently reaped further benefits through the reduction of our technical expertise, the people supporting the back end with the move to Windows 365. We have fully embedded within Intune, and so that has provided some simplification for us.
Thanks. And Fabrizio, I know over our conversations over the years, one of the things that was really important to you was ensuring that your employees had a great experience with this environment. How have we performed on that regard?
I think one of the key for success was the fact that we were able to offer dedicated workspaces to our users. In the past, we could only, on our on-premise VDI platform, we could only offer this to a very limited set of users. Here, we are offering to everyone with dedicated resources. I think this is reflecting into a much better user experience, ease of access, higher performances, and of course, you know, this is reflected also in a higher NPS, which we are collecting month over month. So I think this is a very positive result so far. Thank you.
Thanks, Fabrizio. And last question for you, Gaurav. What has been the end user feedback about the experience so far now transitioning to Windows 365?
Yeah, the feedback's been very positive. I was telling you a story, like I was with the team and I was using my cloud PC and noticed the battery indicator on my physical device came through on the cloud PC, and I was just floored. I'm like, this is a great user experience for our users. We have all types of users, admins, IT folks, finance, contact center agents, scientists who use the service. So for them, when they onboard, it's very critical that they can just start working without having to learn how to use their device.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your stories. It's an amazing journey that we've been in together, and I think one of the things that brings a lot of joy to me working in this space is getting an opportunity to work with unique customers and partners, understanding their unique needs, and have that ability to take feedback and turn that around into product. We ship our Windows Cloud products monthly. I started at Microsoft 25 years ago, where I'd sit in a meeting with a customer and that conversation can lead to something you might show up in a year or 2 or even 3 years. The fact now we can have meaningful conversations, we can take feedback from an audience like this and turn that around into product features very rapidly, and I think that's part of the success that we've seen with our product. Ken showed the Gartner Magic Quadrant, and just to see how our product's being received by our customers gives us all that energy to continue forward. I'm going to finish up here just briefly wrapping up the suite of announcements we've made this calendar year, just to give you some idea of just how much we've accelerated. I think Ken's visual slide of the timeline really helps tell that story as well. Our focus has been really helping organizations make that shift from whether on-prem VDI solutions or bare metal, and find the value that the cloud brings to that higher layer of security, predictable pricing, and the elasticity that brings. We continue to find that intersect of cloud and AI. You saw some exciting announcements at the show in general, but just in this venue alone, where we're bringing AI experiences now through these computer-using agents, enhanced 𝗬𝗲𝗄𝗏+ experiences, and enhanced IT admin tools. We continue to focus in those areas. And we continue to close the gap between computing on a physical device and computing in the cloud. This is something internally we call that like local experience. And if Carolyn's here in the audience, my marketing peer, she likes to say better than local experience, and really set the bar for us to continue to enhance the capabilities that we can deliver to users and increase productivity through the cloud. Just during this last year, we announced cross-region disaster recovery plus, tons of enhancements within the Windows app. We talked about this mobile application management capability last year, that we continue to evolve those types of capabilities. Windows 365 Link, reimagining the thin client experience with Windows 365. We brought the frontline shared mode, frontline dedicated mode to market. And just at this show, we re-announced the migration API. We announced Windows 365 Reserve, Windows 365 Cloud Apps, Windows 365 for Agents, and this exciting new opportunity to bring Copilot and 𝗬𝗲𝗄𝗏+ experiences to the cloud. This is the beginning of a lot of deep dive sessions throughout the event. This is another moment to get your cameras out. If you want to learn more about these technologies you heard about here today, these are all the follow-up sessions that go after this. I'm also excited to announce at the bottom left corner here is a link to a Microsoft Mechanics video that dropped this morning. If you haven't seen the Microsoft Mechanics video in this space, there's a lot of great content there, delivered in like 12 to 15-minute snips. At this particular Mechanics video, we go deep on Windows 365 for Agents, Cloud Apps, and Windows 365 Reserve. Check it out. And of course, we want to hear from you. These sessions are our chance to engage with you and learn from you. We want to make sure we're giving you the most relevant content. I know there's been some logistical challenges getting people in the rooms and everything, but once you're here, I'd love to get your feedback of what your experience was when you were in the room here, if you don't mind sharing that. So with that, thank you. I hope to see you in the booth, and hope to see you in some of these other sessions. Cheers.